Thanks to Motorhub for providing me the most famous SUV in Kenya. This car we have baptized the V8, regardless of whether there are other V8 cars. Sindio? So, lakini hamkuwa mmeniambia. Hata mimi naona kaa hii ni V8 peke yake. Sawa? So without further ado, let me introduce to you the Toyota Landcruiser Z8 ZX 2015. I'm Ulai Muni, your African girl doing what she does best, which is reviewing rides. Nacheza kama mimi on my Moti, where we review the flyest cars, the hottest rides, not forgetting functionality and affordability. In the words of my mom, Toyota is love. So this car has been in production for the last 60 years. We're talking about from the FJ40s, which was bare bone, to the 80s, to the 60 series, to the 100 series, and finally the 200 series. So you guys, you Toyota guys, you Toyota Land Cruiser people, everyone just come closer. Let's just talk about this. Why is it that when you say Toyota Land Cruiser, you only say Land Cruiser? You know, bring the Land Cruiser around. I'm cruising in the Land Cruiser. Did I say they? Oh, us Land Cruiser people, we say this Land Cruiser is iconic. The Toyota Land Cruiser is a very popular car. You will see it blasting through sand dunes in Dubai, wading through mud, and just any terrain possible in Africa or Dubai or UAE, all those places. Pakistan is actually a very staple car there. So you'll find governments, charities, close protection people using this ride. But let me just weigh you in on a secret. Even military guys like this car. You know why? The engine is bulletproof. So we have established that the exterior of the car is not that impressive. Actually, I think it's unimaginative. But the features of the Land Cruiser Toyota ZX that just makes sense are: number one, the fact that it has the recovery hooks here, 2 of them at the front and 1 at the back, and that just makes sense. In fact, Land Cruiser guys might joke that these recovery hooks are for other cars and recovering other cars like Jeeps, but we don't know that for a fact. So don't quote me anywhere higher. The second thing that just makes sense, the suspension at the front is independent suspension. It runs on an independent axle. The ones at the back at the rear is a solid axle. This is tried and tested and it just makes sense. The third thing, we have the roof rail at the top. So I have extra spacing to be able to put in my extra luggage. And that makes sense because this is an off-road vehicle. So the Toyota Land Cruiser ZX is a 5-door car which has an 8-person seating capacity. Especially when we look at Africans and Arabs, we have many kids, which is a blessing, or relatives. Or if you're Kenyan, you understand why politicians love it. You'll have 50 bodyguards in there and no one will know. So we're in the back of the car. This is an iconic off-road SUV. It's large. This is a Bazenga car. If you want to make a statement, especially in Kenya or Africa, this is the car for you to buy. So let's see inside what it has. You see it has a split tailgate. So what I really like, for me, you know, it's a small things. I like this extra space here at the bottom where you can have your first aid kit, etc. But this is just extra space here at the back where you can just store your extra items. And this makes sense. This makes a lot of sense, by the way. As you can see in the back, we have the 2 seats here. They make up 3 people can sit in the back. It looks a bit spacious. If you want them down for more luggage space, you can lay them flat out. So in order for me to have this tucked away, all I do is pull on this, it goes down, and then I push this button right here. Ta-da! Tucked away. If you want to see more amazing features of the Toyota Landcruiser ZX, is the fact that a car is nothing without its engine specs. So let's go around and see the inside of the engine as I, do my thing. Sawa. Isn't it so clean? I love a clean engine. That is a weakness, eh? What we have under the hood is a 4.6 petrol V8 8-cylinder engine. It also has a horsepower of 318 and a torque of 460 Newton meters. So let's see what this interior has. Does it live up to the standards of being a luxurious off-road SUV? So let's check it out. Let's shut this and head inside. It has a keyless entry, which is a plus. So I'm on the inside of the Toyota Landcruiser ZX. So far, so good, very nice. In fact, one of the first things I've done is turn on that AC. Kenya is hot this time of year. So what it has is the climate control. We have the hot and cold seats. So what I've done is I've cooled down my seats, which feels amazing. You see how hot it is out there? Sawa kabisa. The seats are powered. I can adjust them front, back, however I feel like, to get the optimum comfort that the driver needs. Because remember, this is a long haul car. You drive long distances with it, it would break down. Okay, maybe it will, but my point is it's a reliable car. So we have the memory here, not one, not two, but 3 memory functions. So any driver, out of the 3 drivers, the seat will acclimate to your body. You understand? Like right now, I feel very comfortable. It's just, amazing. Okay. So, the climate control is something very nice. The fact that it has a heated steering wheel is also quite snazzy. For me, it's the tiny things, eh? It's the tiny things that actually make you buy a car. The power seats, the cooling and heated seats, and the memory that remembers you. It feels personal. And I think the Landcruiser has incorporated that really well. The other cars that have this level of luxury is the Range Rover. The Range Rover definitely has nailed this, so it's refreshing to see this in a Toyota. So moving on to the steering wheel. We've mentioned that the steering wheel is heated, but it also has steering wheel controls. I can basically control my infotainment from here. I can also pick and hang up calls. It also has the different modes. It's very versatile. I can use it while driving. It's actually not a bulky steering. It's quite thin. I like it. It's the right size for my hands. This is like a follow autonomous feature that shows, let me press it right here. It shows the braking power of the car and the distance, not the braking power. It gives the ability for the car to brake on your behalf. You can choose at what distance. So that's a nearer, closer distance and a very close distance, or we can take it back to that far. So should you approach within a radius that is similar to that, it will brake automatically. Moving on to the center console, we have obviously the 8-inch display, which I have no idea what it's saying. It has Chung Chong Yao. It's in Chinese. But once I figure it out, or if I don't, I know the basic features are the navigation system, rear view camera and things like that. We have our hazard here. We have the climate controls here for each passenger seat. So we have the temperatures right there and just the normal knickknacks that would have. where we want it placed. We have the radio, the radio power to scroll. It's basically like the old radio we used to have at home. We have additional space right there. Here we have the center console, which is the mother of the car. I've discussed the cool seats and the heated seats and the heated steering, which is a real plus. We have a USB port right there. Great stuff. At least I can charge my phone right here in the front of the car. We have the L4 and the H4, meaning this is a low 4, high 4. The car would normally drive in the high 4, which is high 4-wheel drive. This is a constant. The low 4 is whether you're having a terrain that's difficult and you need to go to a crawler. Here we have the height control, so I can either move my car up or down if I need more clearance on the road. We have the lock differential. We have the downhill and uphill assist. And then we have the different crawl settings. I like the fact that it just reduces the amount of turning the car would have. For example, if I am in a very tight spot and I need the turning point to be smaller, what will happen is it'll lock the back wheels and have them move together at the same time. So if my turning curve would have been wider, I now end up with a smaller turning curve. We have the ECT second start button. First of all, you can use this if your first start button fails. But the purpose of this is for you to start your car in second gear. Again, this is a lock differential. This is traction control, so I can turn it off. Then I have the different modes. I have comfort, eco mode, I have the normal mode, and then I have the sport and the sport plus. I think I would have to press down on that twice to see it. Now it shows me right here that I'm in the sport plus, but as you can see, I'm currently in park. Let's see, when I take it back to normal, I see no indicator up there. If I'm in comfort mode, it will also show right there on my screen. So let's just take it back to normal. This is a traditional gated shift. This is what you typically have in other cars. It's not a knob. It's nothing fancy, but this works and it makes sense. So we have our cup holders here, pretty convenient. We also have the wide armrest, pretty wide. And then we have the cooling box here, which is also quite big. So I can have my juice in there or anything that I want. I can power it up by pressing that, so it keeps my drinks cool and really nice. Wonder in this weather, I wish I had a small soda in there. I'm now starting to learn that every self-respecting SUV has a sunroof. Self-respecting. So here we are. Let me pull that back. This is step 1. It is lightly tinted there. But here I have to open. I'll press that right there. Press it down. It'll open up. Now I have nice open air and sunshine, which I don't want so much, honestly. So I'm going to close it. Today at Tutaki Sunshine, it's so hot. So if I want it to move up, I'll press on that. It moves up. Lets extra air in without too much sunlight. How is it that during reviews I always find myself on the right side? Why am I not making boss moves today? Even last review I sat on this side, but it'll have to do. Pretty comfortable. Back left is not, it doesn't need to be the rib. I'm here on the right side. Nah, guess what? I'm still fine. I'm still okay. Can I move to the left? I need to move to the left. I don't feel right. Okay, fine. It is what it is. I'm on the right side of the car and very comfortable seats. The back seat is pretty comfortable. It feels very executive. I like the climate control. I like the technological aspects. I have the volume, I have my phone plug-in, I have my HDMI, I have another one for my phone, so 2 passengers can enjoy this comfortably. I also have a cigarette lighter right there, and obviously the individualized climate control, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, pretty snazzy. So without further ado, and let me unveil, as usual, the 2 screens here at the back for people like me, you know, the people who are being driven around enjoying the ride, you know. This is pretty snazzy, 2 of them, so I can watch my movie, especially when you're going on a long road trip. This just makes sense. So that I can be here, plug in my HDMI, I can even watch a whole fully fledged movie. This also has the ability to host 3 people, but as you can see, basically 2 should be quite comfortable, even 3 are quite comfortable. The seats are quite large. Let's just drop this down. This is an armrest. This also has the provision to place your phones here. Let's say you had your charging points there, which is very nice. It has like an anti-slip surface. Then we have where you'll put your remote control or any other item that you'd like to put in there. We've determined that this car has 3 rows of seats. The second row is quite nice. It's very nice, very private. It feels executive and it feels like $1 billion. So let's jump into the 3rd row seats and see if it's truly still a good experience. I like the space back here, but I'm sure some of you will argue that I'm short, but I'm sure someone taller than me would fit in quite snugly. The headroom is nice. The legroom is perfect. I have my cup holders here. Honestly, I do not feel like a third wheel. So we're going for a test drive. Let's see what this baby can do on the road, what hang-ups it might have, what expectations it might have exceeded, who knows. But already, I have a really good feeling about this drive. So, see you on the road. Let's hit it. Only on my Moti Car Show. This car is quite safe. Obviously, it has the brake assist. It also has the lane, how can I put it? The lane assist. So if you're going off course, it'll show you. It'll also show you proximity alerts. It also has 10 airbags. So it makes it quite a safe car generally. So if it was the end of the world or the world was in total collapse, I think the Toyota Landcruiser has been made to last. This is definitely a very nice car. It handles well. Spare parts are available. Resale value is great. Reliability, the car that will take you to Timbuktu, the back of beyond, and back without issues. This car is reliable. That is the truth. Let's try an off-road experience, a short off-road experience. Let's see how it handles generally and see if this would make a good off-road SUV. So we've determined that this car has a bulletproof engine. It's hard forged. It is built to last. I've seen 20-year-old Land Cruisers on the road. It is tougher. Head down to Motorhub, buy this car at 12.5 million Kenya shillings. A big thank you to our fans out there who have supported our content, who have watched, who have subscribed, liked, and hit the notification bell. So if you haven't, you're missing out. Make sure that you subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. On YouTube, we are My Moti Car Show. On Facebook, it's My Moti Car Show. On Twitter, it is My Moti Car Show. So, cheza kama wewe, jua tu nakupenda tu bure tu hivyo. Just do what you do. Let me do what I do. Tupatane on the next episode of My Moti.